Hey guys, welcome back to my Pinkett. My name is Ingrid. First of all, I have to say thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. We are now a family of 1,000 subscribers, and honestly, I've been enjoying growing with all of you. I feel like my channel took a huge turn when I was diagnosed with my food allergies last year, and even though not every single one of you has food allergies, or maybe not every single one of you follows a plant-based diet, yet I feel like at the end of the day, we all want to eat healthier and we all want to choose the foods that are going to nurture our bodies. So this is why today I wanted to divide this video into sections. So first is going to be like understanding bloating and the causes based on my experience, and second is going to be giving you ideas on foods that you can eat, fruits and veggies that are going to help you prevent some bloating. So it's going to be a little different, but let's start with this video. Okay, this is a disclaimer. I am not a nutritionist and this is mainly based on my experience, and what works for me might not work for you. However, it's good to have a big picture of what's going on inside your body, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let's start. Let's start by showing you two pictures. So, this is not normal, as you can see, compared to this one. So basically this is when I eat healthier and I do not ingest any of my allergens. And then this picture over here is when I have consumed one of my allergens or something that I'm intolerant to. And I feel like we have normalized bloating to the point that we don't understand that this is not normal. Like, this is normal. So having clarified that, let's understand this picture. As I mentioned, I have food allergies, and I feel like you might not have food allergies or you might have food allergies. For that, you have to test, but also there are other reasons, like you could have IBS, you could have celiac, you could have some sort of autoimmune disease that you are not aware of. First will be to understand if you happen to have an autoimmune disease. So for me, I grew up with food allergies. I was diagnosed with food allergies when I was 3 months old, but also I've had eczema all my life, and that is an autoimmune disease. That means that when you consume some foods, your eczema is going to trigger. So you are going to flare up, and what you're feeding your body inside might not be the best. So that is why it's showing in the outside as like the horrible eczema that, if you've been to my channel before, you know I've had. If not, here's a picture. You see, like, it's really bad. So this is the problem with not understanding how to properly feed your body when you have an autoimmune disease. So when you have eczema, foods like dairy, eggs, soy, wheat, or gluten and nuts might trigger you, as well as tomatoes. So in my case, I happen to be allergic to every single one but tomatoes. I am not allergic to nightshades. You might be allergic to nightshades. You might be intolerant. That is something that you'll have to figure out. I'm going to tell you soon how to do that. You might want to ask your parents to see if there is any other autoimmune disease running in your family. Maybe one of your family members could be celiac, maybe someone experiences digestive issues, maybe someone has IBS, maybe someone has problems with their thyroid. Like, you have to ask, and maybe your family has no idea that they have issues. So this is when you're going to have to start researching each issue and try to figure out if you have some of those symptoms. So when you go to your doctor, you ask to be tested for those. You might encounter some gut health issues when you're not feeding your body properly. In my case, I developed a malabsorption syndrome. What is this? So basically, you are eating food and your body is unable to break the vitamins, the protein, whatever you are ingesting, your body cannot break it properly. So basically, you eat, and as quickly as this, you evacuate. You are not absorbing any nutrients, any vitamins, any minerals, nothing. So at this point, even though you are eating plant-based diet, as I was in my case, I wasn't absorbing any nutrients. So I was still very deficient on vitamins, minerals. My levels were off, but this is because I didn't understand what was going on inside. So this is what I did that might help you. I went ahead and started to log every single meal that I was eating on a food diary. I did this for 3 months. This helped me a lot to identify which foods were making me feel ill. So this is how I learned that I was intolerant to like chickpeas, or I was intolerant to sunflower seeds, I was intolerant to corn. So stuff like this you learn as you eat cleaner, when you have eliminated those foods that are just not good for you. So I will start with, like I told you, depending on the type of allergens that you have to eliminate those. But also depending on the type of autoimmune disease that you have, there are some foods that are just not good for you. And the biggest ones will always be gluten and dairy. So when you start to eliminate that, you start to recognize what's off and what is not. In my case, I was still eating corn, but I had no idea that it was making me bloated. So now I mainly like confirmed that I cannot have corn maybe like 2 months ago, because now I've been eating healthy and I'm no longer bloated. And as soon as I eat corn, I get bloated and I have digestive issues and also like irregular bowel movement. So I was like, it is corn, so I might as well just avoid it. So just doing a recap, these are some of the steps that I took to help me. So I went ahead and tested for food allergies, but also I asked for autoimmune diseases in my family. So I asked my family for their medical records. That way I knew if I happened to have some of those, which I did. And then third, I follow an elimination diet, but I kept with a food diary. That way I could identify the foods properly and then eliminate those that were not making me feel good. And the last one, so the fourth step that I took was going to a nutritionist and actually like understanding what was going in inside, what was going on inside my body. So with the malabsorption syndrome, this is what she gave me. So she gave me digestive enzymes. If you don't know what a digestive enzyme is, basically is this the property that helps you to break all of the foods that you're eating. However, if you don't have them, then it's really hard for your body to absorb nutrients. So that's why everything's just passing and you're evacuating and you have like bowel movement pretty frequently because your body is just not absorbing anything. And this also has to be linked with a leaky gut or having like gut health issues, which I feel like a lot of us do. I feel like I have covered every single thing, and maybe you understand bloating a little bit better. But basically, it's just consuming foods that your body doesn't accept. I really hope that this was not confusing. But on to the second part, let's talk about food. So honestly, there are two main things for me that I think you all should know. I feel like these should have been instructed or taught to us in school, but sadly, that is not the system or the world that we live in. But basically, we have to understand which foods feed good bacteria, which foods feed bad bacteria. That is key. The more bad bacteria foods that you eat, the more issues you're going to have. The more good bacteria foods that you eat, the less issues you're going to have. So you will start experiencing like good health and you're actually not going to be bloated because you're feeding your body properly, but you're also avoiding all the things that are inflammatory for you. These you're gonna identify with a food diary and an elimination diet. Going back to what feeding bad bacteria is. So this is basically refined carbohydrates. We're talking wheat. Another one that I mentioned is that you don't have variety on your plate, so you don't eat fruits and veggies. Like you're really lacking vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, everything your body needs to work properly. You are not feeding it if you don't eat veggies and if you don't eat fruits. As simple as that. And also another thing is that you might be lacking some prebiotics. So that is with an E, maybe here. That is with an E, that would be like bananas, oats. I wasn't eating those. And that's why you see me how messed up I am. But also those drinks that are high on sugar, we're talking Coke, we're talking sodas. Also processed meat does feed bad bacteria. do your research on red meat, do your research on all of that, and then you're gonna understand a little better. Now let's move on to the anti-inflammatory foods. This is honestly my favorite topic because these are foods that I consume on a daily basis. When we're talking about probiotics food, you are talking about like kombucha. So this one is lemon and ginger. Honestly, ginger is just so good for your body. It helps you to give you like natural digestive enzymes. So this is actually my to-go, but also I will drink any other flavor of kombucha. But if I feel like a little ill, then I will go for lemon and ginger. Ooh, here's another one. So this one is another food that is rich in probiotics. So this is called sauerkraut. It is, so how to explain it? So it's basically like cabbage, but it has been fermented and it tastes like, do you remember that cabbage that we used to get on top of our hot dogs? This was like before my vegan days. So basically this is what it is. It is fermented, but it's really good. So I mix it with beans, I mix it with rice. It honestly tastes amazing. It smells funky, but as soon as you start to eat it, you're gonna feel a lot better and then you get used to the flavor, you know? Okay, so those are like good in probiotics, but also foods that are anti-inflammatory. Well, there are more. Like you can Google. There's just some that I happen to be allergic to, like miso, for example, like tempeh, things like that. I'm allergic to, so that's why I'm not mentioning. But those, look for them. Like Google which are like good foods in probiotics. Like which foods are rich in probiotics, and you're gonna get like whole list. Like these are two that I consume, and also they're like vegan yogurts that are rich in probiotics. They taste off, so I don't consume them as often, but also you can go for pills, which I have probiotic pills, which I need to get better at consuming those. I feel like right now I'm doing so much better that I go for like more of these sources, but also you have other options if you happen to have food allergies just like I do. So when it comes to anti-inflammatory foods, ginger is such a good one. So ginger, I usually make it like, I actually like add it into my dishes. Like I grate a little bit and then I add it into whichever dish that I'm cooking. It doesn't make it taste off. Honestly, I love the smell of ginger. You can also make tea with it, but the more you consume, the better you're going to feel. Okay, this is another food. This is called turmeric. If you haven't heard of it, I feel like turmeric tastes to me like turmeric, smells like turmeric. I feel like I don't know how to explain it, but it's good. It smells like maracuya, kind of like that, but it's really good. So it's a good anti-inflammatory food that I usually just add it on top of my salads or I make a tea. I'm going to show you how I make the tea as soon as I'm done showing you all of the foods that I have in this basket. But this one is good, so the more you drink it, the better you're going to feel. Just don't abuse. Always drink everything in moderation, always consume everything in moderation. Like, I'm not one of those that drinks more and more of what they like. Like, I try to limit myself with portions because then I know like my body feels better when I do that. Alright, another thing is berries. So blueberries are my fave, but also add raspberries, add strawberries, like all of these berries are going to help you. Another one will be going for omega-3 options, so that will be like, look for oils such as like chia seed oil. I consume a lot of chia seeds. They are really good. They're high in protein, but they also have omega-3. This is all good. You avoid trans fat. So you know, like I don't consume any trans fat, but then this is making you bloated. So when you go for like options like these, you're going to feel a lot lighter and a lot healthier. Ooh, I have some in here. Another anti-inflammatory food. Oh my gosh, it's broccoli. I feel like not everyone loves broccoli, but I do. I mix it with rice or I make a broccoli, I mean I can speak, a broccoli soup. Let me show you a clip of how I make a broccoli soup right now. I steam my broccoli for 15 minutes, then I blend it with milk, spinach, and a little bit of salt. Then I cook this for 7 minutes and it's ready to serve. Another one is spinach. As you can see, I go through spinach so quickly, so I don't have a lot. I have to go buy more, but this one is good. And also kale. Kale is good. I don't have any kale right now, that's why I'm not showing you this one. But if you Google, you're going to see like more foods that are good anti-inflammatory options. So another one, this will be mainly because it can give you like good digestive enzymes. So that would be bananas. You also have apples. Like these are good. Like feed your body with good food. Another one is mushrooms. So I feel like I eat a lot of mushrooms. These ones are the white ones. Another food that it has good digestive enzymes, like natural digestive enzymes, is actually going to be mangoes and pineapples. Pineapples are good. I don't have any pineapple right now, but mangoes are delicious. Like if you make mangoes, like a mango smoothie with pineapple, and bananas and some oats, let me tell you, you are giving your body like a good refreshment, but also you are helping it because you're giving it natural digestive enzymes that are going to help you break all of those proteins, minerals, vitamins that your body needs to thrive. And the last one that I have, I think I've shown you pretty much everything, is avocado. As everyone in my family used to say, lo barato sale caro, which means the expensive turns, the cheap stuff turns to be expensive. And that is true. Like, imagine I was thriving, like, not thriving, like, I was surviving on pasta and sandwiches, everything made out of wheat. Now look at me. It has been a very expensive journey. Like literally having food allergies adds a good $6,000 more into your food bill compared to someone else's that doesn't have any food allergies. So choosing all of those cheap foods are eventually going to have a toll on your health. This is why when it comes to like something like this, I will spoil myself and I will go for an avocado. To reduce some bloating, I boil 1 cup of plant-based milk with 1 tablespoon of sugar. Once boiled, I go ahead and add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Mix it well, and to serve, you can add some cinnamon powder on top. So now you also know how to make a turmeric latte. I make mine with oatmeal, but feel free to use whichever plant-based milk that works for you. Honestly, this is delicious. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, that you found it super helpful. I feel like I love just talking to all of you and giving you a little bit of insights on my experience. And remember, like, what happened to me might happen to you, might not. So it depends, but it might give you some ideas to identify that maybe there's just something off within the food that you're eating. And I really hope that with the videos that I keep sharing, you're getting some ideas on how to keep consuming healthy foods. Well guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I still have my tea here. Please give it a thumbs up and then subscribe to my finger. So all you need to do is click this red button down your screen and then hit that bell once if you want to receive notifications every time I upload a video. And share with your friends, someone that you know that might be having some, let me do that again. Like share with your friends, someone that you might know that is having some digestive issues, then share this video with them. Sometimes it's helpful to know that it's not all in your head and that these are actually real issues that real people experience, and it gives you an idea and like it can like direct you into which direction you should be. And remember, like, always consult with a nutritionist. I ended up getting a holistic nutritionist, which I found it to be easier because I was following a plant-based diet and I just didn't want anyone to go against my beliefs, and I wanted to stick to being vegan, you know. So do whatever works for you. Eliminate the foods that don't work for you. Eliminate those that don't feed good bacteria, and then start consuming those that feed good bacteria. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers, and I will see you next week with a brand new video. Bye guys!